Hello and welcome to today's class. Children, let's give a final shape to what we've learned about nouns until today. So today we're going to talk about the sixth kind of noun, that is compound noun or compound nouns. Now, compound, if you remember from the general definition of the word compound from the subject chemistry, the compound is any substance that is formed by mixing two or more different things fixed in a certain proportion, right? So here it's exactly the same funda that we are emphasizing on the word compound. If we mix two or more nouns together, if we combine them, we get a compound noun. Now, the moment we go through those examples of compound nouns, we will be very clear about what the exact picture about compound nouns is. Let's take the examples. Now here, marketplace, cowboy. Let's disintegrate the word cowboy. The first half becomes cow and the second half is boy. So we have here matched, we've clubbed, we have grouped, we have attached one to another. That is, the first word is cow and boy is the second word that we have brought together in order to get compound noun. Talk about household, strawberry, take over, dragon, fly, ladybug, house fly. So here we need to understand that one category of noun might also represent another category of noun. For example, if I say the word 14, which is present in the second row and the third column, right? So the third column of the second row gives you the word 14. 14 is a cardinal number. That means it is, of course, a countable noun as well. Whereas 4 and teen gives you a compound noun. So one kind of noun may also function as another kind of noun. All right, household, bookworm, iceberg. Now iceberg is also a common noun, right? At the same time, it also is a compound noun. Catfish is a common noun as well as it's a compound noun, right? So one word does not stick to one definition only. It might inherit other it might be inheritance of another families that it accepts. Now, next up we've got concrete nouns. It has been continued from the previous video. So concrete nouns. Concrete means something that is solid, something that has solidarity, something that exists in physical form. So the definition says words that depict articles that exist and have physical forms are called concrete nouns. I'm sorry, I have missed the spelling here. The third word in the definition is DEPICT. So words that depict articles that exist and have physical forms are called concrete nouns. Let's take down a few examples. Here, bread. It's a common noun as well as it is a concrete noun because it exists in a physical form. So like I said, one word can represent multiple families of nouns here. So bread is a common noun. Ambulance is a common noun as well as it's a concrete noun because its physical presence can be registered whenever it is around, right? Okay. Then you've got wolf, train. All right. Let's move ahead. Now we move on to the second category, which gives you countable nouns and uncountable nouns. So countable nouns, the word itself is explanatory. So the word is self-explanatory, right? So the countable means anything that can be counted. So here we're talking about nouns that can be counted, and if you can count them, they might either be singular or they might be plural using cardinal numbers. Now children, cardinal numbers are numbers that are used to specify quantity, whereas ordinal numbers are numbers that are used to specify position. For example, if I say rank 1, he stood first in the class. So rank 1, that 1 becomes a cardinal number and first becomes an ordinal number. So it's a very easy concept to understand, but a little difficult to remember and retain it. All right. Okay, let's move ahead. Let's take down a few examples of countable nouns. Now here, what you see here is, I'm going to read out the examples from the first column itself. So the first column says chair, sheet, glass, clip, pencil, bike, friend, blanket, utensil, wire, phone, gun. So children, what do you see here? You see that every noun that can accept its plural form is a countable noun, no matter whatever kind of a noun it is. Chair, it's a common noun as well, whereas it's a countable noun as well. All right. So phone, phones, wire, wires, then friend, friends, blanket, blankets. So every noun that can change into its plural form is called a countable noun. This is how you understand what countable nouns are. Now, if I give you another word like, let us say bottle. Bottle has got its plural, that is bottle, so it's a countable noun. One bottle, two bottles, three bottles, and so on. Next up, we've got another noun from category 2 that's called uncountable nouns. So, again, the word is self-explanatory. Nouns that cannot be counted are called uncountable nouns. So let's take down a few examples in order to debrief it a little more. Cloth. Now children, what you need to understand here is the difference between the two words called count and measure. Alright, so if I say cloth, right? Cloth can be measured, a meter of cloth, a couple of meters of cloth, right? 3 meter cloth, 4 meters of cloth. But here I am not counting the cloth. I cannot say I've got 2 cloths. I cannot say I've got 3 cloth, 4 cloth. I can only say I've got 4 meters of red color cloth. So that is of course acceptable. So anything that can be measured but at the same time that cannot be counted falls under uncountable nouns. Violence. Of course, it's a noun. It's what kind of noun is it? If you remember, abstract noun, right? So violence is an abstract noun. So it is uncountable. It's feeling, right? You can neither measure it nor can you count it. So anything that is beyond the parameters of counting are or is called uncountable nouns or uncountable noun, right? Okay. Gender of a noun. This is something that I was going to include as category number 3, but as I told you earlier, there is no category 3. Therefore, if I make it a little more complex, so I don't want to increase the complexity of this explanation. Therefore, I've written it as gender of a noun separately, right? So we've got masculine gender, we've got feminine gender, then we've got common gender, nouns that might either refer to masculine gender or refer to feminine gender at the same. So those are called common genders. Neutral gender is as easy as common gender to in terms of explanation. Common noun might refer to masculine or might refer to feminine. या तो मेल सेक्टर को बिलोंग करेगा या रेफर करेगा या फिर फीमेल सेक्टर को बिलोंग करेगा या रेफर करेगा कॉमन नाउन. लेकिन जब न्यूट्रल नाउन की बात करता हूँ तो न्यूट्रल नाउन ना ही मैस्कुलिन जेंडर को रेफर करेगा और ना ही फेमिनिन जेंडर को. जैसे कि छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल करते हैं. लेट्स डील विद अ स्मॉल एग्जाम्पल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट लार्जली, राइट? इफ आई से कॉमन जेंडर, student, okay, let's talk about myself. I'm a teacher, right? So teacher, you cannot, the moment you write or you talk about the word teacher, you cannot guarantee if it's a male teacher or a female teacher. So for that you need to specify that word male or female. So it's a common gender. So ये यहाँ पे जो word है teacher, ये या तो masculine को refer करेगा या फिर feminine को refer करेगा, पर हमें पता नहीं. It's ambiguous to us, we don't know about it, right? And if I say neutral gender, for example, a phone, a bottle, a chair. Chair is neither masculine nor feminine, but it's a noun. So it's very easy to understand. You only need to apply the logic. Let's move ahead. Gender of a noun. Let's take the first explanation in this category. So it's masculine gender. The nouns that refer to the male category of human race, or maybe of let us say animals or any living being or a living thing, are said to be of the masculine gender. So let's take down a few examples. If I say dog, it's masculine, and bitch, it's feminine, right? So here we are traversing, we are running our eyes through all the examples of masculine gender of a few nouns here. All right, brother-in-law, monk, waiter, male. Then you've got headmaster, landlord, gentleman, buck, wizard, colt, god, manager. These are all nouns of several categories. But what here I see is a list of several common nouns occurring here in this table. A postman, it's a common noun. Monk, it's a common noun. So I can classify this table as a collection of common nouns, and of course referring to their male parts. So this is the example of masculine gender. If I say dog, the feminine is bitch. If I say cow, the feminine is bull, right? If I say oxen, the masculine is ox and the feminine is oxen, right? And if I say cow as the feminine, bull becomes its respective masculine. So this is how it goes. A tiger has tigress as its feminine. A lion has lioness as its feminine. Similarly, in the same manner, fox has vixen as its feminine. So it's very easy, but these are to be practiced several times until we get it into our parlance. Parlance means local language. जब तक ये हमारे लिए एकदम नॉर्मल सी बात नहीं हो जाती, जैसे हमें पता है, we are very used to using this combination of dog and bitch, right? So these two words are something that we are very familiar with. So this is what we need to deal with over here. We need to make ourselves so into this concept of speaking in English that every time we need to refer to a particular word from either from masculine or from feminine, we are ready with it, right? It's right at the tip of the tongue, ready to be delivered. तो एक हमने एक फेमिलियरिटी गेन करनी है इन सब वर्ड्स के साथ. तो जब तक हम यूज़ नहीं करते तब तक हमें रोट लर्निंग करनी पड़ेगी, हमें रटना पड़ेगा, और रटना कभी भी फ्रूटफुल नहीं होता है. रोट लर्निंग विल नेवर बी इफेक्टिव, विल नेवर बी एफिशिएंट, राइट? ओके, लेट्स मूव अहेड. Next up, gender of a noun, the feminine gender, that refers to the female counterpart of human race. The nouns that refer to the female category of human race or of animals are said to be of the feminine gender. Let's take down a few examples. Here I have given you a masculine feminine comparison in the form of a table so that you understand why is it important to know every word here. Shepherd, shepherdess, headmaster, headmistress, drake, duck. Then you've got buck, doe. What are all these? These are all animals here. If I talk about a buck, it's a kind of a deer. And the feminine is known as doe. Giant, giantess. Now children, there is no teacher who can guarantee you that you will develop a sense for English only by his or her teaching. I only guarantee you a sense of English when you work on your part, right? For example, if I'll give you a very generalized example. Imagine that I don't know how to ride a bicycle and you are trying to teach me, but then I can only learn it. You're giving your 100%, but I can only learn it until I try it by myself. If I don't do that, if I don't put my part of efforts, you are definitely not going to succeed in teaching me how to ride a bicycle. So it's the same funda to be used everywhere, right? No matter whatever activity in this world it is. So you need to keep on learning. Every day is a new opportunity to learn. Today it's English, tomorrow it's social studies, day after it's physics, next day it's something else. But what I believe is English has to be there at least 20 to 25 minutes of a brief brainstorming session of English that has to follow, that has to be there as a schedule, as a regular schedule, as a daily schedule. All right, so try if you can make it possible. Next up, we've got, of course, common gender. So common gender, as we've already discussed, will definitely belong to the category, to the sector where it will either refer to the masculine part or to the feminine part. Examples of common gender. A manager can be a male manager or could be a female manager. Owner, let us say I am the owner of a mobile phone, but the moment I say owner, that does not mean it's a male or a female. So there is a kind of an ambiguity present with these words here. Politician can be a male politician or a female politician. You can't be sure about the gender here, but it is definitely referring to a gender. So that is called common gender. All right. So please take down all these examples from in here, and then understand why these fall under the category of common gender. I give you one more task here, children. This slide is just one purposely written word that does not belong to common gender. Find it and post comment on my Google Classroom. The first one to post this comment will definitely be awarded the day we meet. So now here we're going to talk about nouns that do not indicate at any of these genders. They are present in the form of a noun, but of course they are neither male, they neither belong to the male category, nor do they belong to the female category. So how do we know about these? If I talk about, okay, let's generalize it before we move ahead with this video. If I say a bottle, can you comment on or can you predict its gender? Of course not. There is no way to do it, right? Why is there no way to do it? Because there is no gender associated with a bottle. So a bottle is a neutral gender. Talk about a pen, talk about a sofa or a couch, talk about a laptop, talk about a television, talk about a speaker. So these types of articles that particularly fall under the category of common nouns and of course non-living common nouns. I'm not talking about boy or a girl, right? These already have specified genders. Okay. So these are all neutral genders. Let's take down a few examples of neutral gender. I see television, couch, mattress, eraser. Now what you see here is a list of common nouns. Be very particular and be very focused, right? Observe and absorb is the technicality here, is the notion here, is the idea here, right? Observe and absorb, right? Floor, it's common noun, right? Then showpiece, it's a common noun. Cassette, it's a common noun. Mansion, it's a common noun. Doormat, it's a common noun. So all these things that have been quoted here that do not belong to the living category, either from the human species or from the animal species, right? So these have been framed here. So they are all common nouns. Pen, now is that countable? Yes, it's countable. I have got 2 pens, 3 pens, 4 pens, 5 pens, multiple pens. So these are countable. River. If I say water, water is again neutral gender, but it cannot be counted. Water cannot be counted, although the quantity, the capacity can be measured. Okay, so let's move ahead. So children, that's it for today. I wish you a very, very good health and of course a safe living for the time being. Keep safe, eat healthy. God bless. Thank you.